Welcome back to another part of the video series. In this video series, we are going to discuss about another phylum of invertebrate, that is Mollusca. In the last videos, we have been discussing about the invertebrates phylum starting from Porifera, coelentrates, nematodes, Aschelminthes, Platyhelminthes, then Annelida, Arthropoda and now Mollusca. And I have made many videos regarding that, and if you have not watched it, do watch it and share among your friends. In this video, we are going to concern about the phylum, that is Mollusca. So, moving to the Mollusca, what is Mollusca study is known as? So, study of Mollusca is known as the malacology. So, malacology refers to the study of Mollusca. So, study of Mollusca is known as malacology, and the organ level of organization, they are having the organ level of organization, that is they are having different types of organs are present. Okay. So, this is the higher form you can say of the phylum Mollusca. Then they are protostomes, that is first mouth will develop, then the anus development takes place, and the body is divided into head, this is the head region. Visceral mass is the inner mass, or the visceral mass is the region where the body substance or the body that is digestive system, internal organs are basically, you can say visceral mass is the region where the internal organs are present. So, visceral mass is present. Mantle, you can see this is the mantle cavity, and foot, that is the region with the help of which they undergo locomotion. And a specialized organ is present near the mouth, rasping organ will be present for the feeding purpose, and they respire through mainly through their gills present, or through their body surface, or by the pulmonary sac. Okay. So, and head bears tentacles, these are the two tentacles which are present, which is a sensory organ. Okay. And one more thing, that the head has compound eyes. So, the head bears the compound eyes. Okay. So, these are in this diagram you can see here, that is the compound eyes are present, as well as the tentacles are present. You can see here in this structure. What is the function of tentacles? Is a sensory organ. And shell is present, that is a hard covering. In the snail you might have seen that a hard covering is present, that is known as the shell, and the excretion takes place by the metanephridia. So, from the starting I was been seeing that the invertebrates starting they have been protonephridia, then mesonephridia, and they have metanephridia excretion, that is advanced form of excretion is seen, and the sexes are united. Okay, and indirect development is seen, that is larval form will be seen here, and what are the larval form we will be discussing in the next slides, and they are oviparous, that they give rise to the young ones. Okay. Moving to the classification, the Mollusca is divided into 6 classes, that is Monoplacophora, example is Neoplena, you can see here, that is the shell, okay, which we collect from the seashore, and Polyplacophora is the chiton, okay, chiton, and Scaphoda is dentalium, example Gastropoda is the snail, slugs, Bivalvia is the unio, example, and Cephalopoda are the octopus, squids and cuttlefish, and each of them characteristics we will be discussing now. I have made a table so that it will be easy for you in the exam point of view to summarize it as well as to memorize it easily also, and it will be a quick revision. For the quick revision purpose I have made this table, and these are the following features which will be highlighting, and it is asked mainly in the exam. So, according to that exam point of view I have made this table. Segmentation will be seen only in Monoplacophora, except that no other class segmentation is seen. So, you can say that Monoplacophora is the ancestral form of the phylum Mollusca. Why I am saying so? Because in the previous phylum, that is Arthropoda, I have seen that they show the body shows segmentation, as well as annelid also shows segmentation. So, as they resemble a little with that of the annelids, that is why they are known as the ancestral form of the Mollusca. Rest all the class, the absent, segmentation will be absent. Talking about the circulatory system, all of them will be having the open circulatory system except cephalopods, which will be having a closed circulatory system. And if you describe about the structure of each class, Monoplacophora are spoon shaped. You can see here they are spoon shaped. And example is Neoplena. This is the example Neoplena, which is a connecting link between the annelids and the mollusca. It is important. Okay. Neoplena is a connecting link between the annelids and the mollusk. Moving to the chiton, they are overlapping plate. As you can see here in this structure, this is one plate, this is another, this is another. So, they are being overlapping plate like structure is present. And dentalium, they are the foot conical for digging. So, they are digging, that is, this is a conical like structure which is responsible for the digging purpose. This conical foot is responsible for digging as they live in the burrow or hole. Then gastropoda, which we common example is the snail, and this common feature is the one characteristic feature about this class is that they undergo torsion. What is torsion? We will be discussing later on. And asymmetrical body, that is the body has no symmetry. If they cut, they will no equal half will be formed. Then bivalvia, that is Ctenidia, is present for the breathing purpose, and no much characteristics is described here. Exam point of view, this is necessary enough. And cephalopoda are basically carnivorous in nature, and some extra features of cephalopoda we will be discussing in the last. That is, example is octopus, squids, they are tentacles in them, and certain defense purpose is also present. We will be discussing later on about the cephalopod. So, this is all about the features and certain characteristics about the classification. Moving to what is torsion. Torsion is a specialized structure, specialized phenomenon which takes place during only in the gastropod and also during the larval stage only. And what is that? It is the 180-degree rotation of visceral mass, shell and mantle, that is the inner parts of the gastropod is undergoes a 180-degree rotation and the head and the foot remains fixed. This is very, very important to be noted down. So, you can see here in this picture that they have asymmetrical body position, that is the mouth is present here in the anterior region, and the anus is present in the posterior region, and the mantle cavity is also present in the posterior region. This region is known as the mantle cavity. Let me highlight it. This region is known as the mantle cavity region. Okay. So, gradually when the torsion starts, you can see here from this region, from the posterior region, gradually the mantle cavity, which I am marking here, the mantle cavity is moving towards the anterior part, and you can see here also the anus, which was present in the posterior region, starts moving to the anterior region. By the end of the torsion process, you can see here, this is the mantle cavity and the anus is present, just opens just behind the mouth. So, this is the full cycle, I can say, what torsion takes place, that is full 180-degree rotation. From here, that is from the anus which was present and posterior, and mantle cavity which was present posterior, they undergoes a 180-degree rotation and the anus just opens behind the mouth. So, this is what, and additional to that, certain other structures also, that is not only anus and mantle cavity, other structures which are present posteriorly will open anteriorly. And one more important point to be noted, that the head and the foot will remain fixed. You can see here in this diagram also, the head and the foot is fixed. No changes takes place in the head and the foot region. Only the posterior, that is the mantle and the anus region, gets in formed. So, in this diagram also you can see clearly the mantle cavity which was present posteriorly and anus which was present posteriorly, and mouth here is present anteriorly. They undergo rotation, and finally the mantle cavity is present here and the anus is present here. This is the 180-degree rotation. And what happens, what is the benefit of torsion? That it maintains the stability of the animal, okay, by bringing the body of the snail near the substratum, that is, this is the substratum region. So, body, that is whole region brings to the substratum region. So, it helps in maintaining the stability. And one more point is that the receptors are present towards the anterior region, as the mantle cavity which was present in the posterior region. So, the receptors were also present in the posterior region. So, when the water flows, so from posteriorly the water flows, the animal could not defend themselves. But gradually, when due to torsion, the mantle cavity moves to the anterior region, which helps the animal to receptors to see the surrounding, detect the surrounding, as well as the test the quality of the water and the mud. So, this is the advantage of the torsion. Hope you understood the torsion. Moving to certain important features about the mollusca is that they are having a glochidium larva. 3 larvas are present, and glochidium larva is seen in the unio, and veliger larva is seen in the pila, that is the snail, and trochophore larva is seen in all other forms. And these 3 larvas are important regarding exam point of view. What are the 3 larvas? Glochidium, veliger and trochophore larva are present in the phylum Mollusca. Moving to the cephalopods, certain characteristics are seen in the cephalopod like the jet propulsion. What is jet propulsion? Jet propulsion is a locomotory feature which is seen by the octopus specially. What they do? They fill the mantle cavity with the water. Okay, they fill the mantle cavity with the water, and then by the siphon, that is by this opening, they remove the water in a certain force. The force which they emit water is opposite to the force the water enters through it. So, due to that, there will be a certain movement of the animal. So, the force they remove the water, and the force where the water current moves in the specific ocean or marine region is opposite to each other. So, there is a certain locomotion will be seen. And one more interesting feature about this cephalopod, that is squid, octopus and cuttlefish, shows inking behavior. What is inking behavior? That is, during the time of terror, what they do, they mainly inject certain type of ink in the water, which makes the water really black or muddy nature, so that if the prey, or if the predator, if anyone tries to capture them, or if they are being captured, they will not be visible, because they make the whole mud black and muddy in nature when they see that there is certain terror or frightening to them. This is certain interesting features which is seen in this cephalopods. And this is all about the phylum, that is Mollusca, and certain important features I am discussing, not in full detail, because this is enough for exam point of view. This much is asked related to exams. And if you have not watched the previous video, do watch it and share among your friends, like and share and comment if you have any doubt. Also subscribe to my channel, and that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.